Have you ever found yourself dreaming about traveling the world after 70? Visiting those places you never got to see when you were busy working, raising a family, or just trying to make ends meet? There's a sense of freedom that comes with retirement. No more schedules, no more deadlines. Just open roads, open skies, and time. But here's the thing. While travel after 70 can sound exciting, it also carries risks that a lot of people don't talk about. Risks that aren't just about comfort, but about health, safety, and even your finances. In this video, we're going to explore 5 hidden dangers of traveling after 70. And no, we're not saying you should never travel again, but we are saying you need to go into it with your eyes wide open. Whether you're planning a cruise, a cross-country drive, or a trip overseas, these are things you'll want to think about first. Because a relaxing vacation should leave you feeling refreshed, not stuck in a hospital or drained of your savings. Let's start with the first big risk, your health. More specifically, the way your body changes after 70, and how those changes can turn a simple trip into something unpredictable. Number 1. Sudden health complications while away from home. As we age, our bodies just don't bounce back the way they used to. A mild fever in your 40s might have meant a day in bed. But at 72 or 75, that same fever could lead to dehydration, a drop in blood pressure, or even hospitalization. Common chronic conditions, like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease, can suddenly become unpredictable in new environments. Add in changes in climate, new foods, unusual sleep schedules, and jet lag, and it becomes easy to see how quickly things can go south. Think about it. Back home, you have your regular doctor, your pharmacy, your emergency contacts, maybe even your nearby hospital. But what happens when you're traveling and none of those things are nearby? In an unfamiliar city, or worse, a foreign country, getting proper medical attention can be confusing, delayed, or even impossible depending on the circumstances. Language barriers, time differences, and not knowing the local healthcare system can make it worse. Now, let's say you're flying. Long-haul flights can increase the risk of deep vein thrombosis, which are blood clots that form in the legs and can travel to the lungs. That's a real emergency, and seniors are particularly vulnerable. Even sitting too long in a car or bus can have similar effects. Combine that with high altitudes, recycled air on airplanes, and disrupted medication schedules, and the result can be dangerous. Here's a true-to-life example. A man in his early 70s flew from California to Italy. Fit, healthy, active, but he forgot to bring his blood pressure medication, assuming he could buy it over the counter once he landed. By the 3rd day, he experienced dizziness, blurred vision, and nearly fainted in a public square. The trip turned into a scramble to find a doctor, get a translator, and spend hours in an unfamiliar hospital. The trip, of course, was cut short, and the memories? Mostly stress. The fix? Before traveling anywhere, especially if you're over 70, get a complete health checkup. Talk to your doctor about your destination, ask if any vaccinations or adjustments are needed, and make sure you pack enough of your medications, plus extras in case of delays. Bring a written list of your prescriptions, conditions, allergies, and emergency contacts. And be sure to check if your health insurance works where you're going. If it doesn't, travel insurance with medical coverage is an absolute must. Let's move to the second hidden danger, one many don't think about until it's too late. Number 2. Weakened immune system and exposure to new germs. Older adults naturally have weaker immune systems. That's just biology. After 70, your body doesn't produce as many immune cells as it used to, which means it takes longer to fight off infections. Now, combine that with airports, airplanes, cruise ships, hotel rooms, and public restrooms. Germs are everywhere, and when you travel, you're exposed to viruses and bacteria your body might never have encountered before. Even a mild cold can turn into bronchitis or pneumonia in older adults. Food poisoning can take you out for days, especially when your digestive system is more sensitive. And let's not even get started on COVID, flu, or RSV. Traveling in crowds, using public transportation, and eating food prepared by strangers all increase your exposure risk dramatically. Now imagine arriving at your dream destination, only to be stuck in bed with a fever, chills, or stomach cramps. That's not just unpleasant, it can be dangerous. Dehydration in seniors can lead to confusion, falls, and hospitalization. And most foreign pharmacies won't carry the exact same over-the-counter meds you're used to. So what's the solution? Prevention. Pack sanitizers and antibacterial wipes and use them liberally. Wipe down plain tray tables, door handles, remote controls, and phones. Wash your hands before every meal. Drink bottled water only if you're unsure about local tap water, and avoid raw or undercooked foods in unfamiliar countries. Also, talk to your doctor about getting up-to-date vaccines, including flu, shingles, pneumonia, and any region-specific shots. Now let's look at a different kind of challenge, one that impacts your energy, enjoyment, and overall experience. Number 3, travel fatigue and recovery time. Let's be honest, traveling is exhausting at any age. But after 70, the energy it takes to deal with airports, time zones, bus rides, walking tours, and hotel check-ins hits harder. What used to feel like a quick power nap and you're good to go, now takes days to recover from. And when your body is tired, it's more vulnerable to everything: illness, falls, confusion, and even depression. Jet lag lasts longer. Your sleep gets thrown off. You're not eating your regular meals or staying hydrated. Add in new surroundings, unfamiliar beds, temperature changes, and constant motion, and it's no wonder you feel worn out. Many seniors report feeling more tired after a trip than before they left. Here's a story you might relate to. A retired couple took a tour of Southeast Asia, expecting relaxation and culture. But after 5 flights, multiple hotel changes, and walking several miles a day, they found themselves barely enjoying anything by week 2. The husband developed swelling in his legs, the wife suffered from dizzy spells, and both agreed they felt worse than if they'd just stayed home. That's not what vacation should feel like. So how do you fix it? Plan rest into your travel. Don't overschedule. Make sure you have rest days between activities. Choose nonstop flights when possible, or at least build in time for layovers where you can move around and stretch. Bring neck pillows, compression socks, and medications that help with circulation or swelling. Drink more water than you think you need, and make time for sleep. Good, deep, quiet sleep. And don't be afraid to say no to activities that don't suit your energy level. It's better to skip a hike or tour than to push through and pay the price for days. Now let's talk about one of the most serious risks seniors face when traveling, and it often goes unnoticed until it's too late. Number 4, increased risk of falls and injuries. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury in adults over 70. And when you're traveling, the risk goes up big time. Why? Because you're constantly moving through unfamiliar environments. Slippery hotel floors, uneven sidewalks, steep staircases with no railings, unfamiliar lighting, or narrow doorways. All these things can trip you up in seconds. And unlike home, where you know every corner and crack in the floor, on vacation, everything is new. Plus, you're likely carrying luggage, walking more than usual, wearing shoes you might not normally wear, or navigating busy places like train stations, subways, or crowded markets. All of these factors increase your risk of falling. And unfortunately, falls at this age don't always end with a scraped knee. They can mean fractured hips, broken wrists, head injuries, or even long-term disability. Take, for example, a woman named Carol. She was 76, healthy, and walked daily at home. She took a trip to Portugal with her daughter. On the 3rd night, while walking back to their hotel after dinner, she stepped on a loose stone in the cobbled street, lost her balance, and fell. She fractured her hip. What followed was surgery in a foreign hospital, 3 weeks in a rehab center back home, and months before she could walk without help again. The trip she had looked forward to for years ended in pain, frustration, and financial strain. So what's the takeaway here? First, always wear supportive shoes with a firm grip, no flimsy sandals or worn-out sneakers. Second, avoid walking in poorly lit areas, especially at night. Third, use a walking stick, cane, or trekking poles if your balance isn't what it used to be. There's no shame in playing it safe. And finally, pace yourself. If you're tired, take a break. Most falls happen when we're rushing or not paying attention. Rest and alertness are your best protection. Also, plan your destination around accessibility. Not every place is built with seniors in mind. If you know you'll be climbing stairs, walking long distances, or moving between multiple locations, ask yourself, realistically, if your body is up for it. If not, find an alternative. There are plenty of beautiful places to visit that are flat, well-lit, and senior-friendly. Let's now move into one of the most stressful and costly dangers that very few seniors anticipate: Number 5. Financial risks and travel insurance gaps. You've probably heard that travel insurance is important. But if you're over 70, it's not just important, it's absolutely essential. And here's why. Many regular insurance plans do not cover medical expenses outside your home country. Some don't even cover you outside your home state. That means if you get sick or injured abroad, the hospital bill is coming straight to your pocket. And trust me, those bills add up fast. An emergency room visit in the US can cost thousands of dollars. Abroad, costs might be lower, but if you need to be flown home for treatment, a medical evacuation, that can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And if you didn't read the fine print on your policy, you may not be covered. Here's a real situation. A 74-year-old man named Ed took a trip to South America. He had mild chest pain one morning and was taken to a local hospital. His insurance didn't cover out-of-country treatment, and his travel policy had expired the week before. His kids had to pay over $18,000 out of pocket just to get him stabilized and flown back home. It was a nightmare no one saw coming. And that's just medical care. What about trip cancellations? Many seniors book trips far in advance, especially cruises or tours. But health changes fast at this age. A small health setback the week before departure, like a flare-up of arthritis or a blood pressure spike, can mean canceling the whole trip. If your travel isn't refundable, you could lose thousands. That's why a solid travel insurance policy, with both medical and trip cancellation coverage, is a non-negotiable. Don't just click the cheapest option online. Talk to a provider, read the coverage terms, and make sure it protects against everything from hospital stays and evacuation to lost baggage and missed connections. Another financial risk that hits seniors especially hard is scams. Yes, scams. Seniors are often seen as easy targets by con artists and dishonest vendors, especially in tourist-heavy destinations. Fake taxi drivers overcharging you, vendors swapping real currency for fake notes, or booking a hotel online only to arrive and find it doesn't exist. These things happen more often than you'd think. George, 78, booked what he thought was a luxury condo rental in the Caribbean through a travel website. It was a great deal, looked professional, and he paid in full. When he arrived, the address led to an empty lot. No building, no contact, and no refund. He ended up spending double just to find last-minute lodging. His dream vacation became a financial disaster. To avoid scams, always use reputable websites, avoid paying large sums in cash, and if a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Don't share personal financial information with anyone you don't trust. Carry 2 credit cards and keep them in separate places. Use hotel safes when possible, and always notify your bank before international travel so your card doesn't get frozen due to suspicious activity. Lastly, don't carry all your cash in one place. Use a neck pouch or money belt. And if you're traveling alone, always let a friend or family member know where you're going, how to contact you, and when you'll be back. Let's take a quick pause here. If you've found value in what we've covered so far, comment "Still watching" below. It helps the video reach more people and lets us know you're engaged and learning something useful. Also, feel free to share your own travel experience. We'd love to read about it. Now, let's bring all of this together. What's the big picture here? We're not saying seniors should stop traveling completely. Absolutely not. In fact, travel can be one of the most rewarding experiences at any age. But after 70, it's not the same as it was in your 30s or 40s. You need to prepare differently, think smarter, and be more cautious, not because you're weak, but because you're wise. Let's be honest, getting older doesn't mean you stop living. It just means you have to be a little more thoughtful about how you do things, travel included. So what exactly does smart travel after 70 look like? Let's talk about it, because avoiding these dangers doesn't mean avoiding adventure. It means protecting your time, your health, and your peace of mind. First, simplify your travel style. That means shorter flights instead of long-haul journeys. Direct routes whenever possible. If you're going overseas, build in rest days, not just for sightseeing, but for true recovery. Choose destinations that offer modern healthcare, safe food and water, and good infrastructure. Think Canada, parts of Europe, or even scenic local spots in your home country. Second, stay in one place longer. Instead of hopping from city to city, consider spending more time in one comfortable location. You'll avoid the stress of constant packing, checking in and out of hotels, and dealing with transportation. Plus, you'll actually get to enjoy the place. You'll discover the little cafes, quiet walking paths, and friendly locals that rush tourists usually miss. Third, look for senior-friendly tours. Many companies now cater specifically to older adults. These packages often include easier walking routes, slower-paced itineraries, and accommodations with elevators, accessible bathrooms, and meal plans that consider common dietary restrictions. And best of all, they often include group support, so you're not alone if something unexpected happens. Fourth, plan around your medications and mobility needs. This is a big one. Bring twice the amount of medication you need, in both your carry-on and your checked bag. Use pill organizers to make dosing easy. Pack a list of all your prescriptions, allergies, and emergency contacts. If you use mobility aids, canes, walkers, or even a portable chair, make sure your airline or tour company knows ahead of time. And always pack for comfort. Don't try to travel light if it means sacrificing your health. Bring comfortable walking shoes with arch support, layers for unpredictable weather, a neck pillow, compression socks, a light blanket for flights, hydration tablets, healthy snacks, small things that make a huge difference in how you feel on the road. Fifth, include your family in the planning. Even if you're traveling alone, let a loved one back home know your full itinerary. Share your flight numbers, hotel names, and emergency contacts. Check in with them regularly. Not because you need to be monitored, but because someone should know where you are, just in case plans change unexpectedly. Sixth, protect your money. Use a travel card with fraud protection. Carry a small amount of cash, but don't flash it. Use a hotel safe or lockable pouch. Be wary of strangers who offer to help with ATMs, bags, or directions. And never hand your credit card to someone who walks away with it. Always keep it in sight. These are simple habits that could save you from a major headache later. Now let's talk about expectations, because this part is personal. Many seniors get frustrated when they realize they can't keep up the same pace they once could. Maybe you get winded faster. Maybe your back starts aching after a few hours of walking. Maybe you need more time to wake up and get moving in the morning. That's okay. That's normal. What matters most is being honest with yourself and adjusting your plans so your trip supports your body, not punishes it. The truth is, you've earned the right to travel on your own terms. You don't need to see every landmark or check off every tourist attraction. You're not proving anything. If sitting in a quiet garden with a cup of tea brings you more joy than climbing 300 steps to a monument, choose the garden. If taking a nap in your hotel room gives you more peace than another guided tour, take the nap. Traveling in your 70s and beyond is about experiencing joy, not rushing through bucket lists. Slow travel is better travel. Focus on connection, rest, discovery, and gratitude. Spend time with loved ones, try a new dish, walk through a local market, take photos, write a journal, breathe deeply. These are the real souvenirs that last a lifetime. And if you're not sure whether to travel or stay home, ask yourself this. Is this trip worth the stress, the expense, and the physical effort? If the answer is yes, then go for it. Just plan wisely. If the answer is no, that's okay too. Staying home doesn't mean you're missing out. It means you're choosing peace, safety, and comfort, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, what's the final message here? Travel after 70 isn't off limits. Not even close. But it is different. It requires more planning, more patience, and more awareness of how your body, your needs, and your risks have changed with age. And that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's wise. Because the goal isn't to avoid life. It's to enjoy life safely and meaningfully. Think of travel like medicine. The right kind, at the right dose, can bring incredible joy. But the wrong trip, poorly planned or poorly timed, can do more harm than good. Your energy matters. Your health matters. Your peace of mind matters. Every choice you make about where, when, and how you travel should protect those things first. Maybe that means skipping the crowded group tour and opting for a peaceful cabin getaway. Maybe it means choosing an afternoon museum instead of an early morning hike. Or maybe it means postponing a trip until you feel stronger, healthier, or more financially prepared. There's no shame in that. What's most important is that you are in control of your journey. You don't need to follow anyone's itinerary but your own. If you love road trips, plan a safe and scenic one. If you enjoy nature, look for places with benches, shade, and good walking paths. If your dream is to see Paris, but the thought of a long flight worries you, maybe try a French-themed getaway closer to home first. There's always a creative way to travel without compromising your health or finances. Now, if you're still watching, and I hope you are, take a moment to reflect. What's one thing you've learned from this video that you hadn't considered before? Is it the importance of getting travel insurance? Or maybe thinking twice about crowded places? Or just recognizing that it's okay to slow down and travel differently? If something stood out to you, write it down in the comments below. We'd love to hear your insights. Your experiences could help someone else who's planning a trip right now. And if you found this video helpful, please take a second to give it a thumbs up. It really helps more people find content that matters. And don't forget to subscribe to SageGrains, where we share practical advice, gentle wisdom, and powerful insights for living well after 60. Before we go, I want to leave you with this. Travel is not a race. It's not about how many places you've been or how many miles you've logged. It's about how you experience each moment. At this stage in life, you don't need to chase adventure. You can simply welcome it with a calm heart and a wise mind. You've earned that. Every wrinkle, every gray hair, every ache and pain, that's all proof that you've lived, that you've endured, and that you're still here. If you choose to travel, do it smart, do it gently, and most importantly, do it your way. Thank you so much for being here today. We hope this video brought you clarity, comfort, and confidence as you think about future travel plans. If you have a friend or loved one over 70 who's planning a trip soon, consider sharing this video with them. It could be the nudge they need to travel safer and smarter. Until next time, take care of yourself, travel wisely, and remember, your best years aren't behind you. They're the ones you live with intention, peace, and purpose. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.